What is up, YouTube? It is the Flippin' Picker here with my second vlog, if you will, slash ride along, slash maybe some secret thrift store footage. I'm not sure. I just left work and I'm going to stop at my little church thrift store on the way home because I'm feeling inspired. I feel like there's gold. I was just there yesterday, but you know, I feel like every time you walk into a place you kind of have fresh eyes, so I'm gonna test that theory. You know, I've seen multiple YouTubers, or most recently Thrift School did, you know, the 7-day Goodwill challenge, where he went to the same Goodwill 7 days in a row, same time, to see if he could find something to sell every single day, and he did. You know, so I say to myself, well, it's the only place on the way home from work. I got to get home kind of quick. I can't really go out of my way. I got to let the dog out, Charlie. I'm sure you'll meet him at some point. And on my way there, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about my eBay style, specifically kind of what I concentrate on selling right now and how I do it. You know, I plan to change, I plan to evolve, I plan to grow, but this is just kind of where I'm at right now. I mostly sell clothes. If you watched my first haul video, you see that. That's what I've done most of my research on, and that's kind of what I know best. Not that I always make great decisions, but it's what I'm most familiar with. It's the easiest to ship. I got my poly bags, and you know, so that's where I spend most of my time when I'm at a thrift store right now. Thrift store, Goodwill, is going through the clothes. I find, for me at least, in my experience so far, the clothes has been where it's been easiest for me to take $2 to $4 and turn it pretty consistently into 20, 25, 30, sometimes more, depending on what I find. You know, so that's good for me. On a part-time basis, that's enough to feed my my hunger for thrifting and flipping. Those flips there. You know, as I progress, I obviously hope to become familiar with a lot more things. Other stuff that I sell is really kind of the random stuff. You know, the things that catch my eye, and that I can research right on the spot, look up completed listings, and make the decision to pull the trigger or not. Very seldom do I just buy something without looking it up. I do sometimes. You know, sometimes you just have a good kind of an instinct about what will sell. You know, and again, if something's a couple of bucks, it's worth taking a risk on, in my eyes. I try to buy, you know, cool things. So that's kind of where I aim right now. You know, I go through, like, I'll go into this thrift store and I'll make a loop. I'll go through the electronics. I've had pretty good luck in the few electronics that I have sold. Those have been the $5 turns into $200, you know, things like that. That's great. So I'm always going to look to see if there's a cool old tape deck, or you know, home stereo like amplifier or something to that effect. I'll always check that. It's easy to look up a model number right there on the spot. Usually they're printed right on the front, so you can search Sony CD-2985 or whatever it may be. It's really easy to look those up and get a really good, quick idea. Those are very challenging, or can be challenging, to ship. Usually I'll build into the price, at least this is what I've done. I'll build right into the price of it, or know that I'm gonna go spend 20 to 30 bucks and have it packed by UPS right at the store. I hand it over to them. That's what I did with that, you know, $240 sale on thing I got for $5. It's worth the investment for me. I know it's working when I send it. I want to make sure it gets there in one piece, and that I've done everything I can to make sure that it's packed properly and professionally. Knock on wood, of course. You know, I haven't had any bad luck with that so far, but that probably won't be the case forever. But in any case, that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my store. I look for the clothes, the easy to ship, the quick $2 to $4 to hopefully $25 to $35 flips. And I take it from there. You know, I always keep my eyes peeled. I try not to limit myself. I try not to pass anything up. Try to keep my horizon broad, because it's always an opportunity to learn. If something looks neat, or if something looks unique, or what have you, it's a great opportunity to maybe snap a picture of it, not buy it right away, but go home and check it out and learn something, you know, and go back if you want and grab it if it's worth, you know, your time. But this is a consistent, constant learning process. There is never something to not learn, you know, and I do a lot of my learning through just research, Googling around, finding things out. Obviously, tons of resources here on YouTube in terms of other sellers who are super knowledgeable about so many different things. It's actually crazy. Just the vast knowledge that people have. You know, you watch some of these YouTubers go through a Goodwill or a thrift store, and the information they can just rattle off is pretty fantastic. So you got to start somewhere, and as I said in my first video, I did start a long time ago, and it's always been pretty consistently closed. You know, there's plenty of resources out there to research on clothing brands, what sells, what types of garments from any specific brand are better sellers than others. So there's always more to learn. But that's kind of what's in my wheelhouse right now. I do want to, as time goes on here, maybe even starting now, kind of tell you how many items are listed in my store, how many items I've sold since my last video. I don't have a specific goal, and I used to think that it's really important to just list. But I don't think it's as important as I once did. I want there to be quality items, and I want things to be something that matters to me. I just watched a video from Bonafide Hustler, as a matter of fact, and he talked about this exact thing. He talked about, you know, having things in his store that mattered to him, rather than just worrying about vast quantities. Now, I do want a good quantity, there's no question about that, but I also don't want to just be buying things for the sake of buying them. I want to make sure that the things that I have in there are quality, and that decreases my chance of having a bad buy, or at least an exorbitant amount of bad buys, by pressuring myself to reach a certain number. But at the same time, you know, I've got, I think, 32 active listings right now. I want and I need more than that if I want this journey to get off on the right foot. So I'm almost to the thrift store now. I'll decide whether I'm going to bring you in with me, or if I'm just going to pick up after I leave. Alright guys, so I did find some ice skates here. You know, a lot of them are old. By the way, I'm not at the main thrift store. They did open a second location, and I'm being the weirdo talking to myself. Anyway, some CCMs here. Doesn't look good, but there are some other ones that look okay, so I'm going to check them out. Okay guys, so I did a weird little talk to myself video in there. Still getting comfortable filming inside the thrift store. So in any case, I did find like a couple things here. Ice skates were $3. You probably saw in one or two of the clips, there were some CCMs in there, which can go for pretty good money, you know, especially on a $3 pickup. But the condition on them, I wasn't too comfortable with. I looked into a couple of the pairs, nothing special. I did pick up a pair of Eastons though. They're Easton Typhoons. Nice looking. They're in pretty good shape. The flip on this looks decent, I'm pretty sure, assuming I looked up the right thing. You know, it might be a little bit more research needed just to make sure I've got what I think I've got. But in any case, completeds on this, looked around like between, I don't know, high end 40 bucks, 45 bucks. You know, but it's a $3 pickup. So even if I take that times 10, I'm good on 30 bucks, 35. Decent sell-through. You know, we're still got a little bit of winter left, so I think I can pop those up and get them out the door. This I was practicing my FBA scanning on. That's a Nintendo DS Cars 2. Decent rank, I think. Some of you may have way more, well, definitely have way more experience than I do. So I think it was around 9,000. Drop a comment below if that's a good pickup or not. I didn't, you know, it looks like I could potentially make 15, 20 bucks. I have no idea what like if there's a minimum for FBA or whatever. Again, drop a comment, let me know. I'm going to look into it more. I'll see what eBay looks like, but I might just, as I'm going through, kind of show you my road to my first FBA box. Maybe that's what I'll do. So this very well could be a momentous occasion, guys and gals. This could be my first ever item to put in an FBA box. I'll have to think of a better term for it, but you know, we'll see. For $3, it's worth it. It's got the book. Everything looks good. I scanned a bunch of, there was some Wii games in there that were worth not much, and then there was a bunch of DS games. This was the only one that really looked appealing to me. Lowest risk, highest reward. I don't think there's anything used on FBA for that. There might be actually, but either way, it looks like a pretty good price. So there was a Tangled one too, but it popped up as restricted. So I don't know if is that a Disney thing? Again, maybe somebody can tell me. I'll have to research it. The FBA thing, again, I signed up for that account and was just like, go for it. Nothing to lose. So road to my first FBA box. Here it is. All right, guys, so the reason I was at this location, this is actually a second location for that little thrift store that I've talked about, the church place. That one's called The Barn. This one is Barn Again, like Barn Again. I think that's, maybe it's a religious reference. I don't know. Maybe they didn't do it on purpose, but it's clever either way. Anyway, so at the original barn, the parking lot is the size of a postage stamp, and it's a nightmare, and it gives me anxiety. I pulled into a gas station across the street, stalked the lot for a couple seconds, and realized I passed right by this place without stopping. This is new for like a month, so I'm still not used to this place being here. So a couple little pickups there. You know, I took my $6. Took my $6 and I think was something half price. I feel like I didn't pay $6. Anyway, I took that and hopefully turns it into, you know, $60. So that's where I'm aiming. I'm gonna go try again at the original barn, see if they put any new clothes out, take another loop around, and I'll be back with you. Okay, guys, still on the way to the original barn behind a school bus, so stop and go here. I wanted to talk to you. I made reference to it probably a couple times in my haul video, my first haul video, about shipping. I obviously, you know, have been watching YouTube videos about reselling and, you know, tapping into different resources for quite a while. And I know there's differing schools of thought on free shipping or charging shipping. There are people out there who always do free shipping. I know it does help the algorithm get your listings to the top. And then again, I know that there are people who always charge shipping to not cut into their you know, bottom line on the product itself. I have always charged shipping, and you know, I don't think I have enough volume listed to really be the best judge of if it I think I'm getting a little bumpy here. I probably don't have a fair judgment on whether it affects my listings or not. Again, with 25 to 30 items, there's plenty of reasons for my sales to be slow. So in any case, you know, I may evolve. You know, I've seen where a lot of people will, if there's a lot of a particular item listed, and they want to be competitive, they'll build shipping into the price, maybe a couple dollars higher, but do free shipping to bump their item to the top. You know, make sure they have really good pictures to justify that couple dollar difference. So, you know, I do keep that in mind as an option for myself. I just never really have done it. So in any case, I'm almost, well, not really, but I'm getting there to the second place. I'll check it out quick. Again, I do have to get home and let the pup out here, so I will be back with you. Hey guys, so I never did make it to that second thrift store because I had to come home for this little guy. This is Charlie, the flippin' pup, the pickin' pup. Charlie the pickin' pup. That's what he is. So I came home, let him run a little bit. Yes, came home for some kisses. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please comment, please like, please subscribe and share. And if you didn't, well, hater, dislike then. I don't care. Thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next time. Loving making these videos, so rest assured it's going to happen sooner than later. In the meantime, keep on picking, keep on flipping.